From the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C.
Hello. I'm honored to have this opportunity to share with you some thoughts about the meaning and continued importance of the Magna Carta. The Great Charter is one of the most important legal and political documents in world history. It helped solidify the principle that no person, whether commoner or king, is above the law, and was a significant step on the road to British democracy. Less well known is the impact the Magna Carta had on the American Revolution. Colonists routinely invoked the Magna Carta's protections in response to English injustices. The Massachusetts Assembly, for instance, declared the Stamp Act illegal because it violated the Magna Carta, and John Adams cited the Charter in opposing royal restrictions on colonial courts. The Magna Carta even appears on Massachusetts' first state seal, which depicts a militiaman with a sword in his right hand and a copy of the Magna Carta in his left. Today, 800 years after it was written, and nearly 250 years after it inspired our nation's founding, the Magna Carta remains just as relevant as ever. Although we do not often cite it on the Senate floor or invoke its name when proposing legislation, its spirit and principles permeate the work we do in Congress. Foremost among the Great Charter's ideals are the notion that all are accountable to the law, and that no one, no matter how high or low his station, may be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. The laws we write in Congress apply to all people. We do not create special carve-outs for high executive officials or for our friends and family. We may debate how best to formulate a particular policy, but we would never presume to exempt ourselves or the President from following the law. My colleagues and I also make real the principle that no one is above the law by conducting oversight hearings and by ensuring that executive branch officials are faithfully fulfilling their duties. We expect the President and his appointees to follow all of the laws, not just those that are convenient or that benefit the President politically. This is true for both Republicans and Democratic administrations. We in Congress also recognize that fundamental notions of due process cabin our authority to intrude upon liberty or to take from Americans to feed government's appetite. We battle mightily over taxes and spending, both within Congress and with the President, because our Constitution, following the Magna Carta's teaching, requires the consent of the governed as exercised through their representatives to tax and to spend. In addition to codifying foundational political principles, the Magna Carta also contains the seeds of our constitutional structure: the Supremacy Clause, the Takings Clause, the Origination Clause, the right to a speedy trial, the guarantee against excessive fines. All of these have roots in the Great Charter. When the framers met in Philadelphia, they did not write on a blank slate. Centuries of legal and political history informed their judgments, and at the very center of that history lay the Magna Carta. I applaud the Library of Congress for its important work in highlighting and commemorating this vital document. We ought more often to remember the history of our liberties and the efforts our forebears undertook to ensure those liberties would last. Among the most important efforts in all human history to defend against arbitrary power and to strengthen the rule of law was the Magna Carta. It was a vital and indispensable forerunner to our modern-day Constitution, which we in Congress strive every day to uphold, and under which I am honored to hold office. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of the Library of Congress. Visit us at loc.gov.